The Akron franchise began as a semi-pro team in 1908 under the name Akron Indians. They dominated the Ohio League, winning multiple championships and gaining a reputation for a surprisingly modern, pass-heavy style. In 1920, the team was sold to businessmen Art Ranney and Frank Need, renamed the Akron Pros, and joined the newly formed American Professional Football Association, the league that would become the NFL. Their most historic addition was Fritz Pollard, the league's first black player and later its first black head coach. The Pros immediately made history by winning the first NFL championship in 1920, finishing undefeated with big wins over Columbus, Wheeling, and the powerhouse Canton Bulldogs. But success didn't last. Akron steadily declined, returning to the Indians' name in 1926 before folding in 1927 due to poor performance and financial collapse. Fritz Pollard remains the franchise's only Hall of Famer. The Canton Bulldogs were one of early football's most iconic names. Formed in the early 1900s, they competed in the Ohio League against rivals like the Massillon Tigers and Akron teams. By aggressively paying top talent, Canton built one of the era's earliest super teams. Their story is tied closely to Jim Thorpe, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Thorpe starred for the Bulldogs and later became the first president of the AFPA, the NFL's predecessor. Under player-coach Guy Chamberlain, the Bulldogs became a dynasty, winning back-to-back NFL championships in 1922 and 1923, thanks to elite defense and Chamberlain's leadership. Financial trouble hit soon after. The team was sold, moved, merged into the Cleveland Bulldogs, and then purchased back by Canton investors before finally collapsing. When the NFL purged weaker clubs in 1927, Canton was eliminated. Still, their legacy lives on. Canton became the home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, largely due to the Bulldogs' historical significance. Cleveland's early NFL history is complicated, with a franchise that frequently changed the names, owners, and rosters. Businessman Sam Deutsch acquired the Cleveland franchise in 1923 and initially used the name Cleveland Indians. In 1924, Deutsch purchased their defending champion Canton Bulldogs and merged the two teams, forming the Cleveland Bulldogs, who immediately won the 1924 NFL championship with a 7-1-1 record. The title was controversial. Chicago argued it deserved the championship, but the league ruled in Cleveland's favor. Financial instability hit soon after. Deutsch sold back parts of the organization, suspended operations for a season, then rebuilt the club using players from the failing Kansas City Cowboys, including star quarterback Benny Friedman. The revived team won 8 games in 1927, but Deutsch moved the franchise to Detroit the next year as the Detroit Wolverines, mainly to capitalize on Friedman's popularity. The Wolverines lasted just 1 year before being purchased by New York Giants owner Tim Mara. Only 8 former Bulldogs ever played for the Giants, and Cleveland's early NFL identity faded away completely. The Frankfurt Yellow Jackets began in Philadelphia as a community athletic club in 1899. They were incredibly popular locally and strong enough as independents to force their way into the NFL by 1924. Their NFL debut season was impressive. The Jackets recorded 11 league wins and scored an NFL record 38 rushing touchdowns. The next few years saw strong competitive play under Hall of Fame player-coach Guy Chamberlain. Their greatest moment came in 1926, when they finished 14-1-2 and were awarded the NFL championship. At the time, standings, not playoff games, determined the champion. But the Great Depression ravaged the franchise. A devastating fire destroyed their stadium and clubhouse before the 1931 season, forcing Frankfurt to play far from their home neighborhood. Attendance collapsed, the finances imploded, and the team folded after the 1931 season. Their 71 total NFL victories remain the most by any defunct NFL team. The Providence Steamroller, founded in 1916, was an early independent powerhouse in the Northeast. They joined the NFL in 1925 and slowly built a respectable roster despite limited budgets. The team peaked in 1928, winning the NFL championship thanks to star players like Wildcat Wilson and player-coach John Kozlman. The title was awarded by winning percentage, and Providence edged out Frankfurt despite having fewer wins. But success quickly evaporated. Wrestler Gus Sonnenberg left to make more money in his new sport, Konzelman struggled with injuries, and other key players departed. By 1929, the steamroller fell apart. The Great Depression finished them off, and the team ceased operations in 1933. This was the first team named the Baltimore Colts, not connected to the later NFL Colts who moved to Indianapolis. The franchise began as the Miami Seahawks in the rival AAFC in 1946. After financial disaster and bankruptcy, the league seized the team and relocated it to Baltimore for 1947, renaming it the Colts. The team struggled badly, finishing with just one win in their final AAFC season. When the AAFC and NFL merged in 1950, the Colts fought to be chosen over the stronger Buffalo Bills. Political maneuvering, including convincing Washington owner George Preston Marshall, allowed the Colts into the NFL. But Baltimore still wasn't competitive and went 1-11 in 1950, leading to another financial collapse. The NFL took control and shut the franchise down. The latter, Baltimore Indianapolis Colts, are officially considered a separate organization. The Cincinnati Reds NFL franchise played only in 1933 and part of 1934. They struggled from the start and are remembered mostly for setting two unwanted records: 38 points in the 1933 season, 37 points in 1934. Both remain the lowest season scoring totals in league history. After failing to pay league dues in 1934, the Reds were suspended mid-season and replaced by the independent St. Louis Gunners. They folded immediately afterward. The Boston Yanks, founded during World War II, were owned by Ted Collins, who actually wanted a team in New York, hence the name Yanks from day one. The team played at Fenway Park and struggled with attendance, scheduling conflicts with the Boston Red Sox, and finding available players during the war. In 1945, due to player shortages, they temporarily merged with the Brooklyn Tigers. Despite two #1 overall draft picks, both used on Notre Dame quarterbacks, the Yanks never posted a winning season. Collins eventually shut the franchise down and was awarded a new team in New York. The NFL granted him this unusual maneuver partly for tax purposes. This team has nothing to do with the baseball Yankees, and its story begins with Red Grange, the NFL's first true superstar. Grange's agent, C.C. Pyle, clashed with the Chicago Bears owner George Halas over contract demands. When the NFL rejected Pyle's bid for a New York franchise, he started a rival league, the AFL of 1926. Grange headlined the league's New York Yankees team, drawing big crowds, but the league folded after one season. The NFL then allowed the Yankees to join as a partial member, with a complicated arrangement involving the New York Giants and Brooklyn Horsemen. The Yankees lasted until 1929 before folding, and Red Grange returned to the Bears. One of the briefest NFL experiments, the St. Louis All-Stars were created in 1923 by Ollie Cray, a lineman for the Rock Island Independents who believed St. Louis could support a franchise. He bought the team rights for $100 but struggled to find real talent, filling the roster mostly with local college players and several imposters pretending to be All-Americans. The All-Stars never won an NFL game. Their offense was non-existent and attendance rapidly shrank. After heavy financial losses, Cray canceled the final game and sold the team back to the league in 1924, which immediately disbanded it. If you could bring back one of these lost NFL franchises today, which team would you revive? And in what city?